of The Weeknd, Lana Del Rey, ASAP Rocky, Arctic Monkey, Sky Ferreira, I feel like she came a little bit after those folks, but definitely still in that scope and genre. Hey friends, welcome back to Zen's Corner. The thing is, I can't see shit right now, so we're gonna hope editing Zen has something good to work with. But here we are. We are literally in the middle of nature because Zen's world is literally the universe, and it was time to wake that tea up. Thank you. Anywho, today I want to have a fun little conversation, a little observation. I made coffee, put it in a mason jar because I didn't have a thermos, so. And it honestly tastes better out of this glass jar. So welcome back to Zen's Corner. We are in the nature, we are in the elements. I'm sweating in all corners and facets of my body, but that's okay. I love it. I love nature. I love to feel human. I love to experience all of the things that come with it. But yeah, today we're going to talk about, well, I've been recently seeing this video of Trim and Quenlin Blackwell and Quen, and it's just kind of silly. Everyone's kind of making fun of Trim's outfit, and of course Con is just like a very extroverted, energetic type of gal. The video was just interesting, and it was garnering a lot of interesting attention, I think. And it kind of made me think about how since 2020, it's been 6 years, TikTok has kind of taken over the music industry in so many different ways that we genuinely can talk about, but that's not, I guess, the focal point specifically on this video. But TikTok has made such a change on how people consume music, especially I would say like for the younger generation. And I don't know, like there was really no emphasis on the song Trim was promoting. It was kind of like people were making fun of her outfit and people were making fun of like Quen's energy, which like whatever. But it made me think about that, like the energy people give music on TikTok versus the energy people used to give music on Tumblr. Right, exactly. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because I feel like the concepts of both apps are completely different, and the way people's career trajectory has been completely different. So let's get into it. And I just wanted to talk about the difference between Tumblr and TikTok when it comes to music, because I think it's the most entertaining thing ever. Yeah, so like I feel like 6 years ago, like it was a thing, like people were trying to gatekeep like certain songs and not put them on TikTok so they don't become widely known, I guess, because the thing about TikTok and music is that songs just get thrown on there and forgot about. So I feel like nowadays artists have to like upkeep this gimmick of being TikTok famous, which is interesting. And I don't know, TikTok does not translate to numbers. It doesn't translate to buying power. Like I study business and I think it's the most entertaining thing ever. And I also kind of love getting crowned, being a crowned hater, because people think that since I'm talking about TikTok not translating to buying power, it equates to me being a hater, which like, I mean, if the shoe fits, that's fine. But yeah, like numbers on TikTok, the circulation of media on TikTok translates to very little in the real world, which is funny because I do enjoy TikTok. Like I joined TikTok last year, 2025, and it's just, it's fun. Like it's really easy to interact with folks on there as opposed to apps like Instagram and whatnot, and it's easier to grow as opposed to like YouTube or whatnot. So I respect that, I like that, but I also just feel for artists and I feel for people who actually have talent who have to kind of sell themselves on TikTok. But it's funny because just a few years ago, everybody was on Tumblr, and I feel like Tumblr was an organic way to showcase your artwork. You know what I mean? Like, we had so many artists that either they did low-key dwindle out of the limelight, or they became household names, you know? Like, I think when you think of like Tumblr and that vibe, we think of The Weeknd, Lana Del Rey, ASAP Rocky, Arctic Monkey, Sky Ferreira. Like, there was a lot of visual identity tied into Tumblr because it was an extremely visual app. And of course, you can customize your page and whatever. I literally forget all the lingo. Like, what was it called? The page? Your blog. Customize your blog. But yeah, like the Lana Del Rey imagery, the like vintage 50s Americana, but like modern day melancholy, you know? And then I feel like people under that sector, we have like Halsey, who like, I feel like she came a little bit after those folks, but definitely still in that like scope and genre and time frame of, she had like the blue hair. And low-key, I found Halsey on MTV. Like, I think she did like an MTV Unplugged or something of the sort. I have no idea what's up with MTV these days, but anyway. But yeah, like Halsey, or like Marina and the Diamonds, who I never truly got into, not gonna lie, but like the whole prima donna aesthetic is very prominent in my mind and my brain, and I never even got into the music sonically, you know? But it's like on Tumblr, I could not escape it. It was something that fully existed. And even like the 1975 and you like just that whole the 1975 and the neighborhood. I know the neighborhood is like, a lot of these groups I feel like don't have the same weight they held, obviously, but like the neighborhood, they back then, that everything they did used to be in black and white. And I remember being obsessed. Like, I was obsessed with that aesthetic. Just like the swag of it all. Like, I was genuinely obsessed with the fact that they were committed to the bit. They were committed to every single post thing being in black and white. And that really birthed like the aesthetic. Like, all of these words feel like Gen Z buzzwords, and it feels like bullshit, but like these, like the apps like Tumblr and all these musicians being on them genuinely birthed a whole new scope of marketing, I believe, because it was so easy for bands like The Neighborhood to do everything in black and white because they know it would be visually followed through apps like Tumblr, you know? Like The Weeknd blew the fuck up on Tumblr. Like, that was his stomping grounds, essentially. And The Weeknd is one of the biggest pop stars. The Weeknd's definitely in like the Eurocentric American Canadian air vibe. He's definitely one of the biggest pop stars, and he got his start on Tumblr, just like posting all these snippets and like, yeah, the ASAP Rocky, like his visuals were very much innovative in a way that like rappers were not doing. And of course we have rappers like Busta Rhymes and Ludacris and like all of them that came before, Missy Elliott, Timbaland, like all these predecessors who had these fire ass music videos. And I low-key feel like ASAP Rocky, being a New Yorker, kind of absorbed that, and also absorbed like the art kid indie scene, the fashion scene, and really just said, yeah, why don't I just mix all these together? Nowadays it's not very like, it's not crazy like that. Watching his videos now wouldn't be necessarily as crazy as it would have been back then, but it's just so interesting to see because it's like, these are some of the pioneers. And if you don't like these folks, it's fine, but like, I don't think that, I mean, again, I don't even listen to everyone necessarily on the list of people who migrated from Tumblr, but I cannot deny seeing their image on Tumblr. I cannot deny seeing their likeness or seeing their likeness being copied, and I know that's a fact. So like A$AP Rocky, his visuals definitely reign supreme in that era, you feel me? But yeah, like, I don't know, it's super interesting. And then when I think about TikTok and then I think about songs and things that kind of went viral or had their moments, I think about like Doja Cat, Say So, or like Meg Thee Stallion with like Savage and WAP. I feel like WAP was a very unserious song, and I'm not like a Meg hater. I'm not one of those. So if you're one of those, you could take that weird ass shit in somewhere else. But I do feel like WAP definitely jump-started like the carrot could not jump-started, but WAP solidified. Wow, that bird is chatting. WAP solidified what it meant visually to be a female rapper aesthetically. You know what I mean? Like WAP, I almost said Playboy Cardi. WAP by Cardi B, and it's so hot I cannot think. Oh my god. WAP by Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, genuinely, those aesthetics in those videos solidified like the female rapper aesthetic, that sort of sector of female rap for sure, 100%. I have like the Little Kims, the Eves, the you know, Nicki Minaj, like the pioneers in female rap. But WAP by Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion blew up so insanely that visually every female rapper who's in that genre of like hot girl daddy rap is trying to chase that bag for sure. And even I would say Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion continue to try to chase that wave with further like releases and whatnot. But like, yeah, I think even like songs like The Box by Roddy Ricch, like songs like Kiki, do you let me, like songs like that became, music just became commodified in the way that was like, how can we condense 30 seconds of the song or a minute of the song to be promoted and to be replayed and to get stuck in people's head and just to be up on the forefront of entertainment. And that truly killed music, I think. Like, there's so many artists, new, old, young, famous, getting there, established, whatever, like artists on each spectrums of the scale that, ooh, coffee spilling, that genuinely are tired because they have to play this TikTok game. And like I said, TikTok does not necessarily equate to money. Like the optics of it all is cool, it's cute. You could get 1 million views here and there. People will know your song, but does it equate to album, like buying albums? Does it equate to downloading albums? Streaming industry also very much, you know, kill a lot of people's pockets for sure, I'm sure. I don't make music, but obviously this is my bag. I pay attention to it. I am a business gal and I love music, so the two things are always going to be connected, and I'm always going to connect the two. And especially with a tool such as social media, because I've been on social media for years. I love seeing the psychology behind it, but it's super duper interesting. But I don't think, like, the artists that I've named on this list, I have my notebook, that's why I'm looking down. The artists that I've named on this list, like Lana Del Rey, The Weeknd, A$AP Rocky, Sky Ferreira, The Neighborhood, even like Arctic Monkeys, like the way Arctic Monkeys, every single like post on Tumblr had something to do with AM or knee socks, or it had that like heartbeat kind of cover vibe, the 1975. Like even people like Melanie Martinez, who I know is like canceled or controversial or whatever the fuck, not diminishing whatever the fuck is going on. I just have my own fucking life and I need to make sure the people in my life are straight. So I don't really know about other people or famous people, whatever the fuck. But I know she's controversial. But anywho, her imagery of like that whole baby doll esque aesthetic was so fucking popular during that time, especially on apps like Tumblr. Like a lot of these folks on this list, not that they peaked, but they reached a peak point. I feel like the people who definitely made it really, really far after the Tumblr era was like obviously The Weeknd. Lana Del Rey is always a staple in the sad girl music genre. She's still making music actively. A$AP Rocky's still making music, like whether it's with him or he was dropping with A$AP Mob a few years ago. Halsey's still making music. I knew she was ill for a little bit. Love her. I know people feel so many ways about Halsey, but I feel like I grew up on her and she wrote a lot of things that resonated with me emotionally, so I will forever be grateful for artists like that. Even artists like Zella Day, a lot of people don't know who that is, but she had an album called Kicker, which is like platinum in my book, in my mind, in my heart. She also, actually I made a video, I think it was like my top 5 or 3 or something, my top albums of 2025, and she made a country album that low-key I was obsessed with because I'm obsessed with her. But yeah, like I don't know, it's interesting to kind of look at the juxtaposition between TikTok and Tumblr and see how on Tumblr these artists really had the opportunity to really be themselves and to really, granted, with a grain of salt, because with everything comes marketing, with everything comes a budget, and these artists still utilize Tumblr in a way to get their music out. But I think they had more freedom to expression than they do on TikTok. TikTok is like, you will forget in 10 minutes. Like, you have to post 3 times a day. And I don't think that was the same vibe on Tumblr. I think things could actually sit there and live there for a little bit longer. Like, certain pictures obviously lived on for years and years and years and years. But yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting conversation, an interesting topic. And it definitely did get jump started by that whole Trim thing. I fucks with Trim. I know people say she sounds like Nicki, controversial opinion of mine, but I rock with it. I rock with her. She's super duper duper young, so I feel like this isn't really her final form or her final sound. I won't say anything about her outfit because she's a young woman. She's younger than me, and that's not my business. When we were 19, 20 years old, we all have a fucking horrible ass outfit that we hated and would hate for the world to see. And I'm sure none of us had the platform Trim had, so I have no space to speak on that because I'm sure I have a terrible outfit when I was that age also. But I fuck with her. I rock with her. I know people say she sounds like Nicki and whatnot. However, I don't know, once somebody goes off on the MAGA deep end, I kind of don't care about what they do or what they say. Yes, I could acknowledge what they have done, but like, once you're off in the deep end, I don't really know. Also, MAGA, leave me the fuck alone. MAGA and the Barbs, leave me the fuck alone. I don't, like, this is not that. Like, leave me alone. I'm just the cool girl. I'm just chilling. I just like music and business, and I like to talk about this shit. But yeah, I think it's interesting and definitely something to note. So thanks for watching this video. Thanks for coming to Zen's Corner. See you soon. Peace.